Hello, good evening, and welcome to episode 215 of your favorite daily podcast, A Couple of Things by Adetawak. I am your guest host today, Nnanna, and today I will be talking about privilege, talent, and luck. The Olympics is currently on, and it got me wondering a lot about this topic. Watching some of these amazing Olympians representing their countries doing insanely superhuman things and seeing a trend that's coming up across the various countries. And it got me to thinking about a quote that many people have heard of about this saying about how talent is equally distributed but opportunity is not, first of all. And during these games, I think for I'm casually observing these games, but something I've seen, especially in the final rounds of many of these games, is how countries who are expected to be favorites or stars or people who are expected to be favorites just still follow the norm no matter how many people compete for those things. And then it's always that story about how a specific country probably had an upstart or had an upset rather in the games, and then you go back to say something about an investment maybe 15, 20 years ago by either the country or even the specific athletes who probably went to America or somewhere else to train to become that good to represent their country. Essentially putting modes to that same point about talent and opportunity being equally or unevenly distributed. I mean, the saying is nice, don't get me wrong, but it just got me to thinking about like Nigeria or Nigerian athletes in general. Nigeria has won Olympic gold, I think only three times. I will need to double check that, but we've only won Olympic gold three times ever. We hope we can bring a fourth one. Rooting for Toby Amuson to bring a fourth one. And those were in long jump, football, and some other sports, which I will double check by the end of this episode. But it just goes to see, like, even though we have stars and everything, who even of recent, most of our stars are now trained in LSU or Auburn University on the athletics side. Even no matter how good they are being Nigerian and how they still go to the US to train to get that good to qualify, they still can't be able to compete or stand with the Jamaicans and the Americans and the other countries who are good at historically good at athletics, despite all the personal investment these athletes have done. So it's begging to question. It's like the whole world acknowledges to a certain extent that the prime or the cream of crop of athletics is the Americans or the Jamaicans, no matter what you're doing as far as a short distance racing. So, why would you say that talent is equally distributed in that regard, where you have over 50 years of history, Olympic history or athletic history, has proven that the Americans and Jamaicans are better at this than the rest of us, and that if you even have a chance of sitting at the table with them, the best you can do is to go train with them. And away from superhumans now, the reason why this is today's episode is because in the real life, when normal human beings are dealing with their regular 9 to 5 jobs and things they do that on a day-to-day basis, we've increasingly seen people who try to either downplay their privileges or downplay the role of luck in their life and in their journey, or even apologize or make excuses for privilege, luck, and the advantages they've had to get where they are, and which isn't I now feel like that's not a good thing. I feel like we should all acknowledge these privileges. It's a way to be honest in these conversations, because if superhuman athletes are being honest to themselves and superhuman the federations in charge of the superhumans are being honest to themselves that if you want to get the best out of the best, you better pack your bags and go to America. If you want to be the best out of the best in athletics, you can say the same about football. You can say the same about long distance running. You can say the same about precision sports. You can say the same about any kind of sport, swimming as well. You have to go where the talent is being mined, for lack of a better word, if you want to get the best out of it. So if athletes are not lying to themselves in terms of acknowledging these privileges and advantages some institutions or places have over the rest of us or the rest of them. Why does it, when it comes to us, we start apologizing for these privileges? I mean, my favorite writer, Morgan Housel, made a quote that he has repeated multiple times, that when it comes to the rule of luck, the three most important factors that luck plays in someone's life are the things that they have no control over, and that is the country they were born in, the parents they were born to, and the generation they were born in. I think, in essence, to wrap this up, it's important for us to start having more honest conversations about privilege and luck from all sides, because, in all honesty, again, really proud of the Nigerian and Dutch and German and American athletes showing off at the Olympics, but it's going to be harder for a 16-year-old Nigerian living in Nigeria now who has Olympic dreams to make it to 2028 if they don't go to LSU. And that's the truth of the matter. So maybe in having these honest conversations publicly as well, all of us can be able to admit and identify the privileges we have and potential privileges we have access to that we may be able to tap into. That's it for today, and these are my thoughts for the evening. Oh yeah, to add, Nigeria's third ever gold in the Olympics was in the 4x400 men's relay in the 2000 Olympics.
There's still over 100 episodes to go. I still need questions. I still need suggestions of who to talk to. I still need people who want to come on to talk about something to fill the form. So please do that. Thank you very much. And yeah, do like, share, subscribe if you found it interesting, insightful, and all the nice things. Bye.